Most horrific natural disasters. Earthquakes caught on 4K camera 2023. 2023 Turkey-Syria earthquake. A 7.8 earthquake measuring in magnitude affected northern and western Syria and southern and central Turkey on February 6, 2023. Gaziantep was 37 kilometers to the west-northwest of the epicenter. The earthquake's highest Mercalli intensity was XII at Antakya and the area surrounding the epicenter. Afterwards, there was a 7.7 earthquake. The second earthquake had a center of 95 kilometers to the northeast of the first. There were tens of thousands of fatalities and extensive damage. The MW 7.8 earthquake is collectively the second strongest recorded in the history of the country, behind the 1668 North Anatolia earthquake and the largest recorded in Turkey since the 1939 Erzincan earthquake of the same magnitude. Additionally, it was one of the most powerful earthquakes ever registered in the Levant. Egypt and Turkey's Black Sea coast might both feel it. Over 10,000 aftershocks occurred in the 3 weeks that followed. Shallow strike-slip faulting led to the seismic pattern. A region of around 350,000 kilometers squared, or 140,000 square miles, roughly the size of Germany, saw extensive devastation. 16% of Turkey's population, or an estimated 14 million people, were impacted. According to UN developmental specialists, there were roughly 1.5 million homeless individuals. The official death toll was 59,259, of which 8,476 were in Syria and 50,783 in Turkey. Since the earthquake that struck Antioch in 526, this earthquake is what now is modern-day Turkey has killed more people than any other natural calamity. It is also the deadliest earthquake to hit modern-day Syria since the Aleppo earthquake of 1822, the deadliest to hit the entire world since the Haiti earthquake of 2010, and the sixth deadliest in the 21st century. The costliest earthquakes on record, the damages were estimated at $104 billion in Turkey and $14.8 billion in Syria. The Disaster and Emergency Management Presidency's rescue and relief efforts, which included a 60,000-strong search and rescue team, 5,000 health workers, and 30,000 volunteers, was delayed by damaged roads, winter storms, and communication interruption. In response to Turkey's need for assistance, more than 141,000 people from 94 different nations joined the rescue operation. Thousands of people were immediately buried under debris when buildings fell. In the wrecked structures, several persons were missing. Social media users could live stream the cries for assistance from survivors trapped under the wreckage. Some stranded survivors gave rescuers their location by posting it on social media. On social media, many who lost communication with their family members made pleas. Tens of thousands of residents across the area were left without homes and endured a chilly night. To temporarily house the impacted population, officials planned to open hotels in Antalya, Alanya, and Mersin. Residents of Hatay province blasted the government for their inadequate search and rescue operations. The runway at Hatay airport was severely harmed, making rescue operations difficult. Authorities said that 1,846 persons in the province have been saved on February 7th. In Turkey, mosques served as a sanctuary for those unable to leave the bitter cold of their houses. People in Gaziantep took shelter in mosques, community centers, stadiums, and retail malls. In the entire Malatya province, close to 250,000 displaced people were living in schools. At least 24 mobile kitchens from the province's vocational schools were dispersed across the impacted regions. Along with other IFRC members throughout the world, a number of Turkish humanitarian organizations, including ABAP from Haluk Levent, the Turkish Philanthropy Fund located in the US, and the Turkish Red Crescent, have also launched urgent pleas to aid the victims. Turkish Airlines said it would offer complimentary flights from the provinces of Adana, Adıyaman, Gaziantep, Kayseri, Diyarbakir, Anlufa, Malatya, Elaz, and Kahramanmaraş. Citizen volunteers are being sought by the Disaster and Emergency Management Authority to assist with rescue operations in the impacted area. At the Istanbul airport, a large number of volunteers came. Turkish Airlines CEO Bilal Eksi reported that on 80 flights to Adana, Gaziantep, Adıyaman, and Antalya, 11,780 volunteers have been transported. Pegasus Airline reported that between February 6th and February 9th, it flew 169 times and evacuated 30,771 passengers from the impacted area. Turkish Airlines reported that between February 6th and February 11th, it flew 790 times to remove 139,438 individuals from the impacted area. On 1,595 flights, it transported 7,833 members of aid and search and rescue teams to the impacted areas. Guayas earthquakes. On March 18, 2023, a powerful earthquake hit southern Ecuador. It had a moment magnitude of 6.8 and its hypocenter was 68.8 kilometers deep. The epicenter was situated in the Gulf of Guayaquil, some 80 kilometers south of the city of Guayaquil and just off the coast of Canton of Balao. In the provinces of El Oro, Azuay, and Guayas, it caused significant damage, resulting in 446 injuries and 16 fatalities, while 2 further fatalities and scores of injuries were also reported in Peru. 13 out of the 24 provinces in the nation experienced aftershocks. 318 homes, 148 schools, 55 medical institutions, 54 pieces of public infrastructure, 56 pieces of private infrastructure, 1 bridge, and 96 homes altogether fell. Injuries to at least 494 persons were reported nationwide. 40 homes fell in El Oro, killing 12 people, predominantly in Machala, including an infant and 5 members of one family. When a tower collapsed, 3 individuals perished. A restaurant and museum building in Puerto Bolivar crashed into the water. Many individuals were trapped in the province by collapsed structures. One of the deceased in the province was a resident of Peru. There were telephone line failures and power outages in the southern region of various province locations. Guayaquil saw the collapse of 6 buildings, the destruction of 73 other structures, the breaking of glass, the collapse of several walls, and the closing of other businesses. The city experienced power outages. The northern and southern sectors were without power for up to 7 hours, while in some other locations, power was restored after 30 minutes. In addition, the city's 3 car tunnels were shut down, and 1 person was hurt. In Narajal, 1 person perished. 10 homes fell on Puña Allen, one of the closest places to the epicenter. In Cuenca, the regional capital, 2 persons lost their lives, one of whom was murdered when a home facade fell onto an automobile. 2 more people were hurt. In the province, 2 homes were demolished and 4 more were damaged. A 4-year-old girl was killed in Tumbes, New Peru's border with Ecuador, when a house's roof collapsed on her, and a teenager was also slain. Due to landslides, several people, including another child, suffered injuries. In the 3 provinces of the area, 6 houses fell and 46 houses, 2 hospitals, and 12 schools sustained damage. 39 people lost their homes, while another 101 were impacted. Earthquakes in Afghanistan, Pakistan, India. An earthquake with a magnitude of 6.5 occurred in Afghanistan on March 21, 2023 at a depth of about 187 kilometers. In 9 Afghan provinces, there were at least 10 fatalities, 80 injuries, and more than 665 homes destroyed. In the province of Langman, there were 2 fatalities, 25 additional injuries, and 22 collapsed homes. 20 buildings fell in Takar province, causing 1 fatality and 5 injuries. 3 structures in Panjshir province sustained significant damage, and 3 individuals were hurt. 1 person was hurt, 70 structures were demolished, and 50 were damaged in Badakhshan province, the earthquake's epicenter. 1 person died, and 1 home was destroyed in the province of Kabul. In the province of Nagara, 5 homes fell. Islamabad, Rawalpindi, Lahore, Quetta, and Peshawar all experienced tremors. A youngster was murdered by a collapsing wall in Swat district, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, and a police station was damaged. In the neighborhood, a wall collapse also claimed the lives of 2 persons, and a toddler was also killed by a collapsing wall. There were 250 injuries, substantial property damage, and power disruptions in the Swat district. A woman's heart attack caused her death in Manchera. A man and woman were killed in Lower Dur district due to wall collapses. 1 person died in an earthquake-related panic, and 43 people were hurt in various ways. Due to landslide obstructions, the Karakoram highway was shut down. 1 death occurred due to a heart attack, and some apartment building damages were reported from Islamabad. Another fatality occurred in the Bajur district. In Rawalpindi, there were damaged buildings, including 6 that were evacuated because they were thought to be in danger of collapsing. In the city, hysteria caused 2 people to get hurt and 2 more to pass out. 1 person in Ambatabad passed away from fright and panic. A police station's wall fell in Mardan district, injuring someone. In the district of Swabi, 5 people suffered injuries. In the Buner district, 40 people were hurt as dozens of houses fell. In particular, Jammu and Kashmir, Punjab, Himachal Pradesh, Haryana, Rajasthan, Uttarakhand, and the National Capital Region all experienced earthquake tremors. In various areas of Jammu and Kashmir, mobile services and electricity were disrupted. Following a house fall in Poonch that left the woman hurt, there have been reports of house cracks and a wall collapse in both the towns nearby Noshwara. In Srinagar, the state capital, some houses were reportedly affected. Some structures in Delhi reportedly had cracks or were leaning. A house in Tajikistan's Rudaki district sustained damage, forcing its occupants to flee. Despite its relatively low magnitude, the earthquake caused plaster to fall from the walls of a high-rise structure in Chimkent, Kazakhstan.